Did you know that your F-150 is holding back a lot of potential from the factory? Well, we're going to show you how in an afternoon's worth of work to unlock some hidden horsepower, torque, and fuel economy safely for your EcoBoost F-150. All right, well, we just got our first baseline pull done. Keep in mind, this truck's got 35-inch tires, so it's a real heavy tire and wheel package. Runs were made in 5th gear. As you can see, this is why people love EcoBoosts. They are absolute torque monsters down low. You're making over 350 foot-pounds of torque at about 2,700 RPMs, so it's got great pulling and low-end torque. Unfortunately, the EcoBoost motor, well, it's not meant for revving. So it's going to absolutely fall on its face after 5,500. Torque comes, finally goes below horsepower at 5,200, which is what you see on every dyno, but then the engine just basically runs out of steam. So 93 octane, bone stock truck, 35-inch tires. Here's your baseline. Now let's get to work and see how much more power we're gonna make. So as anybody knows, with these EcoBoost, anytime you can add more boost to any turbocharged vehicle for that matter, you're gonna make a lot more power and torque. It's the beauty of the EcoBoost platform. Now, the problem with that is whenever you add more boost, you're gonna generate more heat. That's where the Steeda intercooler comes into play. You're looking at something that has 50% more volume than the OEM intercooler. So you're increasing boost, you're gonna create more temperature, more heat. As you're compressing that air, the Steeda intercooler is gonna keep the intake air temps low. It's gonna allow you to prevent detonation, and it's something that's really gonna help your motor last a long time. You know, it's one of those mods we did on my wife's Fusion, and that's about to hit 250,000 miles, and it's had an intercooler on its life for probably 200,000 of those. Once again, keeping those intake temps down, it keeps the engine happy, prevents detonation. The other good thing about the tuner is it's a diagnostics tool. So no more having to run up to the auto parts store or your Ford dealership and say, hey, why is my check engine light? You can simply plug it in, it can tell you your codes, you can clear your codes, and while it's married to the vehicle for a tuning perspective, for a diagnostics perspective, you can use it on anything. Right now, my SCT tuner's in the new Mustang. It's been in the wife's Fusion. We take it on a road trip, we put that SCT tuner in the vehicle we are gonna be taking on that road trip because, hey, we throw a check engine light, we wanna be able to clear it and be able to get back home safely. So besides using your tuner as a diagnostics tool, this vehicle's got 35-inch tires. You can program your tuner for your new tire size, which means your speedometer is gonna be correct. You can compensate for your tire sizes, any gear changes you might do. There was an option inside the tuner when we were loading the tune for a front mount intercooler. We selected yes because, well, we've got the front mount intercooler. Now it knows that the air intake temperature is going to recover quicker because you've got a bigger front mount intercooler. You can run more timing. So the SCT tuner is much more than just a tuner. Like I said, you correct your speedometer, use it as a diagnostics tool, and it's simply something that I feel every household should have. S&B cold air kit, that's another really cool piece. Really designed very well, looks good. It does give you a little bit more performance, as we saw with the Steeda Explorer going 0 to 60 miles an hour. But the looks, the reusable air filter, that's really where that kit shines. Of course, combining it with a tune is going to take more advantage of the extra volume of air it's allowing to come into the motor. So, super cool piece. The three of them together usually perform very, very well. So, it almost reminds me back of the power packs we used to have back in the day with the GT500. It was a cold air, it was a tuner, and it was a blower pulley. Same thing, trying to make more boost, make more power, although with a turbocharged vehicle, it really is a lot much easier. So let's go ahead, get on the dyno and see what kind of gains we made. Results are amazing. EcoBoosts love tunes. We had horsepower increase from 289 to 351 peak. That's 62 horsepower. Torque came up from 368 to 409, 41 foot-pounds of increase. So that's the numbers peak to peak. But a lot of people advertise the most gain or in the curve. So you see how it's making all the power here. But up top, if we go to 5,200 RPMs, you're making 103 horsepower more than the stock tune and 97 foot-pounds of torque. That is tremendous. Now, I know you don't spend a lot of life above 5,500 RPMs, but for spirited driving, that's a huge difference. 100 horsepower to the rear tires. One of the other things to note here is you notice how fast the factory numbers fall off. How the Steeda numbers taper off gradually. That is a lot to do with the tune, but also the Steeda front mount intercooler. We said it's 50% larger than stock. What that's gonna do is cool the intake temperature charge. Now that's gonna heat up. You've got a turbo, you're compressing air. When you compress air, it gets hotter. With the Steeda intercooler being 50% larger than stock, it's gonna keep it cool, which means you're not gonna fall off. Power's not gonna fall off in the upper RPMs. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this is just on the dyno. Imagine you're out there driving around. You're going camping with the trailer, you're an hour in. That Steeda intercooler is gonna keep your air intake temps much cooler than factory. And that's gonna help with the longevity of your vehicle. Less prone to detonation, no knocking, no pinging. It's simply a no-brainer, and that's why we make them for the F-150, the Explorer, and the Fusion. Anything that's turbocharged, it really needs that. And now with the SCT tune, keep in mind, this is a safe tune. This isn't a custom tune, flogging it out on the dyno, trying to make more power. Could you make more power? Absolutely. But is it gonna be safe? This is something that SCT preloads, that they put their name on it. I've got a 6.0 Power Stroke diesel. It's a horrible motor. It doesn't even have head studs. But I run an SCT tune. It's tried, it's true. It does everything exceptionally well. Talk about a win-win-win. More horsepower, torque, better fuel economy, and better longevity for your EcoBoost F-150. If you're interested in the power pack, hit up Steeda.com. Hit like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and remember the most important thing, Steeda, where speed matters.